If your wife has no idea how much money you spend on fishing gear each year, go ahead and leave a comment below. Like any good free market society, there are things that are very cheap and there are things that are, oh my god, expensive. The fishing industry is no exception. In this video, we will compare the Penn Wrath to the Penn Slammer 4. When it comes to price, these reels are polar opposites. I'm talking about $4.99 for the Wrath. I'm sorry, that's $44.99 versus $259.95 for the Slammer. Now, with inflation being what it is today, these numbers will probably not age well. If you've watched any of my videos on fishing reels, you know that I harp body construction, bearing counts, drag system, and gear ratios. In this video, we'll break down those 4 variables and answer the age-old question: what is all my extra money getting me? Body construction. An unsuspecting consumer may look at the Penn Wrath and Slammer 4 and assume they're pretty much the same thing. However, a closer look reveals that the Slammer is vastly more complex. For starters, the Wrath is made of a graphite material. The best way I can explain that is that it is a carbon-based plastic body. Now, the side plate, handle, and spool are metal with the Penn Wrath, which at that price point is a pretty good value. The Slammer has an all-metal body construction. You might be thinking, who cares? Everything is made out of plastic these days. Well, metal is much more durable and allows for a slimmed down design. Since plastic is softer and weaker, it takes more material to produce a structure of suitable strength. Just compare the shank of the Wrath to that of the Slammer. The Slammer is much thinner and sleek. Not to mention the rigidity of metal and its ability to maintain tight tolerances throughout its lifespan. After all, the body of the reel has to house and support a lot of components to ensure functionality. If you pop the hood on both reels and take a look inside, something becomes immediately apparent. The Slammer body has to accommodate all the seals that keep salt water out. That's the IPX6, the Ingress Protection Level 6 system. The Wrath has no seals. With respect to saltwater fishing, that's like showing up to a war zone without body armor. It's only a matter of time before corrosion seeps in. Now, regular maintenance and freshwater rinses can slow down this process considerably. However, if you're lazy with the Wrath, it won't be long for this world. Not that I would recommend this, but the Slammer will last much longer without any maintenance and with 5 times the abuse. It's literally built for war. Now, providing the infrastructure to seal a reel is very cost prohibitive and explains much of the cost disparity between the two reels. Styling. Now, not important from a utility standpoint, styling does add a lot of manufacturing expense. The Slammer 4 has many styling cuts and color contrasting. The Wrath is pretty much all black besides the spool. Now, if we look at the Wrath spool, it's completely smooth and uses paint that is already rubbing away in less than a year of use. The Slammer spool has many precise cuts and the lettering is laser etched. It will last forever. Let's take a look at the handle assemblies. Wow. For starters, the Slammer handle knob is a power knob that contains as many ball bearings alone as can be found in the entirety of the Wrath. The handles themselves are both metal, but the Slammer styling is a work of art. If we look at the handle drive shafts, there's a noticeable difference between the two. The Slammer's is much more robust. Finally, the handle cap of the Wrath is a cheap plastic, whereas the Slammer is a nicely styled metal cap. No one is probably considering this, but the fasteners used throughout the Slammer are of a much better quality. Since they interface with metal, notice how tight their threads are. The Wrath uses wider and cheaper looking threads. That's because they have to interface with plastic, and they're trying to keep costs down. The Slammer even utilizes blue Loctite on most of its threads in the manufacturing process. This adds more labor and material costs, but it creates a product that's more durable and longer lasting. Bearing counts and quality. Simply put, the Penn Wrath utilizes 3 bearings. That's 2 ball bearings and 1 roller clutch, and that's in addition to 2 very cheap plastic bushings. The Slammer incorporates 9 total bearings, 8 ball bearings, 1 roller clutch, and all the infrastructure necessary to house those 9 bearings. This all increases costs. Bearings are important because they increase smoothness and they facilitate crank power. Less energy wasted on friction is more energy that can be focused on fighting the fish. Now, the bearings are sealed in both reels, and although the Wrath is short on bearing count, bearings it does have are of high quality, stainless steel, and they are sealed. Drag system. The Penn Wrath uses flimsy oil felt washers. Now, a large, hard-fighting fish will vaporize this drag system. The Slammer, on the other hand, uses DuraDrag washers. In English, that means carbon fiber washers with a phenolic coating. And phenolic is pretty much just a thermoset polymer coating which binds the fibers together to create a very smooth and durable material. Now, a very important thing to note with cheap, flimsy drag systems is that you get harder startup. So basically that is a significant amount of pressure and tension caused by the fish, and then the washers snap loose and start letting the fish run. Whereas with the DuraDrag or high-end drag systems, you get a real real nice level smooth startup, so that fish isn't like jerking your line, so there's less opportunity to get like line snaps. Now obviously carbon fiber is much more expensive and labor intensive to manufacture than these cheap, crappy, flimsy oil felt washers. Gear ratios. Now I can't really see how actual gear ratios and retrieval rates are cost prohibitive for manufacturers, because it's very easy to make the same size gears. What's difficult is the materials used and the manufacturing process. Both the Wrath and the Slammer have a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio with roughly the same retrieval rate. However, what is important is how the gears are made and what material they are made out of. The Wrath's main and oscillation gears appear to be cast aluminum with a little machining. I can't find official specs declaring what the gears are made of. I can only tell you what they look like. Now the gears of the Slammer are CNC machined brass. Brass has a strong reputation for being smoother, more durable, and corrosion resistant in the fishing industry. Also, CNC is a high quality manufacturing process. This all adds costs, this all adds added performance and quality. Summary. Like most items in the free market, you get what you pay for. At the price point, the Penn Wrath is an impressive reel with nice features. The stainless steel bearings are awesome. However, the Penn Slammer is on an entirely different planet in terms of the materials, design, and overall construction. So, to circle back to the original question at the beginning of the video, when it comes to the Penn Slammer 4, all your extra money is actually buying you a lot of incredible features that are nowhere to be found on the Wrath. This is not to say the Wrath is a poor reel or not a smart purchase. I guess the lesson of this video is that as the price tag of the reel goes up, expect better body construction, more bearings, and upgraded drag. Now with all that said, I'll let you in on a little secret. You probably don't want to buy the cheapest reel on the market, and you don't need to necessarily buy the most expensive reel. Usually what I found is the best all-round value is probably somewhere in the middle. This will allow you to catch some pretty incredible fish while keeping your marriage intact. Life is all about compromise after all. Anyways, as always, thanks for stopping by, and make sure y'all get out and go fishing. We'll see y'all later. Bye.